Que? O que tá caindo, velho? Deixa eu ver se tem alguma coisa aqui. Baú, nem nada. Não dá mais. Tem alguma coisa na cabeça, velho? Eu tô maluco. Deve estar maluco, né?
Beg for mercy.
Ah tá, tem uns patrulha aqui.
Beg for mercy.
Solidify.
Shudder.
Ah, foi.
Looks like I went too far.
Tem esse negocinho aqui pra ativar o portão que vai ter. Mano, eu acho que vai ser os caramuxes, velho. Aqui no trailer tinha uma sala atrás dos caramuxes que tinha essa merda, essa medula aqui, velho. Eu acho que vai ter os caramuxes, cara. Dessa parte, né? Ó, que chique.
So, is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal marrow. Now where have we seen that before? Wait a
Parece um pouco
second, are they
familiar.
getting this from Rito? So the Ganja Commission are...
É isso mesmo, comissão. Já tá pegando com os patrulhas.
Solidify.
No touching. I condemn you. Look at me.
Com rabata. Quanto mais a guerra continuar, mais vou se tornar para mim, para ampliar a demanda de existência pela ilusão, incitar a intensidade da guerra, da determinação de promover uma batalha prolongada entre os dois continentes. É, e os dois, os Fatui querem que os dois briguem para ter a oportunidade de agir. Melhor. Vem por isso mesmo pedir a todos os camaradas disponíveis a auxiliar o segundo tenente naval Nathan a pôr fim às aspirações das tropas sobre o amigo mais rápido possível. Se houver um incidente, ajude a fuga do segundo tenente Nathan e silencie todos que possam revelar nossa infiltração em suas fileiras. Silencie, né? Silenciar como? Lembre-se, essa missão é de extrema importância para garantir que nosso suprimento de ilusões nenhum detalhe deve ser esquecido. Eu queria pegar isso, não ler o negócio, mas tá bom. Oxi, que o janela tá aberto assim. Bem no quarto. Até que ele conseguiu. Calma aí.
Gather.
Guys, it looks dangerous.
Ah, tô com o zombie ali.
We
Relaxa.
better watch our step or we might get hit.
Oh. Ah, nem preciso correr nem nada. Tô com o zombie ali. Porra, dá uma pulão, velho.
Stabilize.
Nossa, pensei que eu ia andar e não ia pegar eu, velho. Essa é a porta aqui, eu acho. Mas deixa eu procurar baú. 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 Ai, caralho. Oxi. Deixa ele levar aqui. Calma aí, tô... Quero averiguar o bagulho aqui. Não vi, né? Baú nenhum, né? Perdão, né? Tem que ver, né, porra? Ó, mano, eu acho que eu posso descer aqui, tem um elevador ali, ó. É aqui que eu tava antes, não era? É, mas tem um bagulho aqui. Caralho, nem vi, né? Passei aqui. Ali tinha um baú. Filho. Acho que é só pra pegar o baú, né? Mentira, que esse elevador não sobe mais, velho. Cara, eu desci dali e volta, cara. Caralho, deu uma volta. Caralho, dá uma maior volta aqui. Aqui agora. Esqueci que me abre sozinho.
Stabilize.
Puxa. Tem aqui.
Intruder spotted. Do not let them impede the work of the Harbingers.
Ah, posso pisar aqui melhor?
You'll never get out of here alive.
Isso aí. Ah, até que eu mostrei vídeo, cara. Você acha mesmo?
This is long overdue. Shut up.
I will have order. I slipped up.
Beg for mercy.
I guess this is gonna be fun.
Crush.
Now this idiot must have a death wish. Don't be intimidated.
Não posso
Lord
usar isso.
Harbinger will be here soon.
Essa pular, hein? Sei que.
Rack
Eu
and
vou
ruin.
sair vivo. Não importa o que você queira, cara.
Crush.
Ih, errou, hein?
Through me.
Morreu.
Belongs
Se matou, parece. Ou foi mal qualquer coisa aí que... Né, o PlayStation pode levar 1 hora e parece que já deu, né? Caralho, tá aqui muito tempo. Mas enfim... Você realmente conseguiu achar esse lugar? Parabéns. Mano, sabia que era ele no trailer. Pelo trailer eu lembrei. Eu pensei, porra, quem pode estar aqui, velho, nesse lugar? Aí na hora que eu vi a Mindula, lembrei esse Caramote, cara.
Barely 2 words in, and you already look like you want me dead.
Eu já me quero morto, tá porra. É, Yugi, a gente vai cair aqui, vai desmaiar. Vocês estão vendo os olhos para a
Oh,
existência.
so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. You've changed. You're getting weak.
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. They were always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests. Good news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time, but each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce. You have to see the funny side.
Ele não é incompetente. É só um sono da guerra. Mano, o BR tá muito puto, velho. Caralho. Caralho, pai, mas é lindo.
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger.
Se acalma, gente, respira. Aí, sabia que ela ia aparecer. Vai. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Vai. Acalma, gente. Respira. Seu lugar feliz, velho. Seu lugar feliz. Vai, respira. Pensa no seu lugar feliz. Qualquer outra merda aí que quiser. Pensa na Raiden, na Eula, na Beidou. Aí certeza que você relaxa, né?
Repeat after me.
Aí, ó.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Okay, that's positive. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. This is good news.
Pô, uma visão legal essa aqui, hein? Poderia ficar assim um tempo.
It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort
continuidade,
it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when
Como
we
que eu vim
first
pra
met
cá,
you?
velho?
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other shrine maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways.
Mano, eu compartilho a mesma opinião, velho. Não é só porque se age de forma diferente dependendo das circunstâncias, que não é você. Tipo, tu não tá sendo você. Tipo, você age de um jeito com seus amigos e de outro jeito com sua família. Não quer dizer que você... com a minha família sou eu mesmo, com meus amigos não. Sou eu. Só que sou eu com meus amigos e eu com minha família, entendeu? Não tô deixando de ser eu em nenhum dos casos, entendeu? Tá certíssimo, cara.
This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Apetece, velho.
Paimon didn't quite follow.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
Como você fez isso?
Right! Paimon was so focused on the Traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant? Would you believe me?
Hã? Caralho! Ficar de joelhos implorando pro meu segredo em um instante. Caralho, velho. Os caras Mote fazendo isso? Não imagino, cara. Não consigo imaginar isso, cara. Que legal, cara. Cara, eu tenho medo dela.
Maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no?
Que dá
Maybe some of
beijinho.
your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought.
Meus mais sinceros agradecimentos, Nico.
I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words.
Mas
The
não.
delusions.
Que tá os dois, né?
They're still on your mind, aren't they?
O que aconteceu em seguida?
You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleague's behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, anyway, that Songonamiya Kokomi, she really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person, but alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
Religião é foda, né, bicho?
Should you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
Não vou falar por isso, né? Vou falar que é interesseira. O que você precisa?
You've met her, right?
Sim, na cerimônia. Acho.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes?
Isso quer dizer bem?
Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being.
Tem duas delas. Ela consegue meio que se dividir. Tipo, meio que ficar a mente e o corpo dela são separados. A verdadeira Shogun Raiden que medita infinitamente no plano da Euthymia para preservar seu ser.
Her name is A.
Seu nome é
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the Traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Mas por que se dar tanto ao trabalho?
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet.
Por essa eu não esperava, hein? Porra, eu pensei que, sei lá, era um caso excepcional, que ela era uma deusa da eternidade, ela era fadada à eternidade, mas não, ela que escolheu, entendeu? Porque ela também ia morrer um dia, como todo ser, velho. Caralho, velho.
And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
Caralho.
So, that place that she carved open with her sword...
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity.
Porra.
This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity.
Agora nessas coisas, ele se aposentou.
You mean Morax?
A Morax?
It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liu's Archon.
Ilusão
What
dele
a
é, né,
fascinating
velho?
god he is.
It
Fascinante.
seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhang Li was facing, though.
Parece que a abordagem da Shogun Raiden resolve o problema que os zumbis estão enfrentando.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room. Don't you think? The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of loss.
Não sei o que você quer que eu faça, né? Ainda não tenho certeza do que você quer que eu faça.
The truth is, we are on the same side. You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it.
Ah, da hora.
The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
Derrote a lá e você pode muito bem ter a chance de abalar a terminação do Shogun. Caralho! Mas tá pensando que é um deus, é meio complicado, né? Mas sou o protagonista, então
So this is your
aceito.
plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree? Not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by, hopping inside the Raiden Shogun's inner world?
Calma aí, mano. Tem que levar ela pro jantar primeiro antes de ir pro interior dela, cara. Não queria falar nada, não. Caralho, eu sou muito besta, viado. Não é que ela falou isso, não que eu li, velho. Por que minha mente funciona assim, cara? Ô, pelo
You're a
menos
fast
jantar
learner.
primeiro, né, mano?
In short,
A Maluta também
this is the
serve, né?
last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity
Meu
of
Deus do
darkness
céu, cara.
awaits.
Caso contrário, uma eternidade de escuridão aguarda. Putz. Eu ainda tenho uma pergunta.
Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear
Que?
there tells us one
Só
crucial
ela-
thing.
Só ela tem permissão de
That
existir.
you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
Ah, eu acho que só ela tem permissão de existir por causa que ela não chama mais ninguém, não porque é tipo meio que uma regra física desse mundinho que não pode ter mais ninguém. Ninguém pode entrar. Acho que ela não permite mais ninguém, né? Mas permitiu a gente. Acho que entendi.
Has no one else ever been in there?
Porra.
No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there.
Pô, bem maneiro,
Your
hein?
existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me
Ah,
after all.
obrigado. Ah, outro brinco dela não tem o símbolozinho da visão. Mas é claro, ela não tem duas visões. Ah, mas ela podia colocar tipo meio que um adereço só, tipo só uma falsa assim, pra ficar combinandinho, né? Eu acho que eles só não fazem isso no design por causa disso, senão as pessoas vão achar o que? Ela tem duas visões de eletro? Oh meu Deus! E aí as pessoas podem colocar um detalhezinho que a pessoa já fica, nossa, não sei o que. Porque ó, ela tem visão de um lado, no outro não.
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you.
Treinamento antes de algum rider? Estender muito isso.
We're gonna do it here? And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to
Eu
try
não
to
tô
not
contra
get
ela.
hit by the
Eu já vi ela
attacks.
lutando.
Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Certo. Caramba. Tô com medo. Mas como que isso... Não, já no final não.
Solidify!
Beg for mercy.
Porra. Caralho, viado. Caralho, velho, tá foda, hein? Mano, é rápido pra caralho, velho.
Gather.
Deixa eu ver se eu ficar atrás aqui.
Shut up!
Gather.
Caralho, bro. Caralho, já 2 vezes atingido já. Será que isso aqui... Não. Caralho.
Stabilize.
Beg for mercy.
Ufa. Caralho, ele tá só uma vez pra ficar fera mesmo, hein?
Gather.
Será que ela vai lançar nessa ordem, cara? Se for, mas de boa, não. Ela já mudou o padrão, né? Ela lança, tem uma hora que ela lança 3 vezes. Na segunda vez que ela usa esse ataque, ela usa 3 vezes seguidas. Se claro, esse também, ó.
Stabilize.
Caralho, como que eu vou quebrar essa porra, velho? Não tem como não. Não! Ah tá, pode cancelar. Mas aqui no final.
Stabilize.
Porra. Porra, agora não precisa mais. Eu perco.
Solidify.
Não, não. Ai, porra.
Stabilize.
Não, velho. Eu jurava que ela não ia dar 3, cara. Pô, se demorar, né? Foi mal. Vai dar 2.
Solidify.
Vai dar 2 também de novo. 3. Filha da mãe. Ah, essa porra desse pilar, velho.
Solidify.
Eu espero ele abaixar, aí eu desvio.
Solidify!
Crush!
Mano, não tem como quebrar essa porra. Quebrei ou não? Não sei. Ufa!
What a workout!
É só isso dá, foi meio desafiador essa
So
porra.
how come you know so much about the Raiden Shogun?
Ah, vai responder. Nossa, mano, é bom que eu aprendo. Acho
You
que.
mean me?
Bom
Perhaps
quando
it's
eu colocar com
because
ela.
I'm the Electro Archon's servant.
É
What?
assim, né?
Like Devalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you.
Pô,
It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
realmente me
In your
persuadido.
dreams.
Em seus sonhos?
More
Porra!
curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis.
É, não. Tem que ser eterno, mas não significa que. Mas nação eterna, nação que dura pra sempre, mas não tem que ficar do mesmo jeito.
At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least.
Acho um lado que vive numa doce ilusão.
Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal servant is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko, you sound like a really great friend.
Yeah.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
Ah,
There's a
não.
part 2?
Ah, não. Ele pode doer. Não. Eu tenho medo desse negócio aí, velho. Puta que pariu, cara. Fudeu, hein. Quem? Como?
This is order.
Pode vir, vai. Ataque, Shogun. Isso.
Born of Ice and Frost.
Não vai aparecer bicho lá não, né? Calma aí que eu quero. Filho da puta. Ah, mas não tem que desviar mesmo.
More speed.
Tira essa lâmina e... Vê que esse negócio podia afetar os bichos também, né?
Shudder! Let's light it up!
I will have order. Gather.
Beg for mercy.
Ah, tô de boa,
More
mano.
speed.
Não tive que desviar do bagulho rapidão, né? Os ataques rápidos. Precisos.
We're finally done. How did we do?
Muito bem,
You
né?
did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
Ah, obrigado.
So, do you think we're ready to beat the Raiden Shogun now?
How
Não.
do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
Mas espera, o quê?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances?
Para ser bem sincero,
You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful.
então, qual é o plano?
Oh, goodness, is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a
Convidado?
sudden, you're entertaining guests? Hyman's really struggling to understand how you work.
Como você funciona é foda. Dá pra esperar com essa merda ainda? Nem, agora é só um enfeite que provavelmente vai sumir depois que eu terminar a missão. Caceta.
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the plan. In fact, I've been mulling it over for quite a long time.
Diga aí.
Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do?
Don't know. What is it?
Tô que nem a pá.
You must understand the situation you are facing.
Ah,
The
velho.
Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on eternity.
Esse cara muito confirmou isso.
Yes, this is the strongest piece of evidence we have to go on.
Ah, então não é porque ela quer,
We
velho.
also know
Ela
that
tem
every
influenciado.
aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryo Commission from the outset.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no negotiation.
A comissão também está trabalhando para o Satui.
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans, blinded by their greed. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions wrapped around their finger, and is distributing delusions from the shadows. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
É, então.
So, what should we do?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryo Commission.
Rebellion? What are you talking about? After everything you just said, it sounds like the Tenryo Commission has rebelled already.
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. I mean inciting a certain someone to betray the Tenryo Commission. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun.
De quem você está falando?
I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army.
É a Sarah?
She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Putz.
Don't move a muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest.
Minha filha, você
Don't
tem
even
chance
think
contra mim,
about
seu
trying
protagonista.
anything. Surrender now. You're coming with me to headquarters.
Ah,
Seize
vou
him.
sim.
Affirmative.
Kujusara!
It seems that you're forgetting. This is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun,
Ah,
Gujiyai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside.
As you wish.
Dá fora, vai. Vaza.
Gujiyai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
Tá escondendo? Aí, tô aqui.
You're the same as ever, Kujo-sara. No one can match you when it comes to loyalty to the Shogun.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior, I dedicate my life to following the way of the Shogun.
Even though she will one day seize your vision too.
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course, and I shall not question it.
It's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the dark? Or are you the only one left in the light?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct. Tell me exactly what you mean.
Não entendi.
The
Né?
Vision Hunt Decree is a trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission, they're the ones keeping the truth from reaching the Shogun.
You're saying the Kujo clan betrayed the Shogunate?
Exatamente.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Guji Yai, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun since ancient
A
times,
Gujai também,
and
né,
remains
mano?
absolutely loyal
A
to
Yaimiki
this
também
day.
tem.
Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. At every level of the Tenryou Commission, especially from the head of the clan, Kujo Takayuki. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun pales in comparison to his. How could he ever even dream of acting against the Shogun?
3 days. Come back here in 3 days and I will show you the evidence.
3 dias. Olha
As a
aqui, 3
Guji,
dias.
there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look.
Algumas coisas não se veem simplesmente porque não se deseja olhar.
And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes, in all
Com
its
toda a sua
ugliness.
feiura.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for slandering the Kujo clan. Also, he will have to come with me.
Wonderful. Then I'll see you in 3 days.
É
I look
maravilhoso.
forward to it
Ficamos
very
3
much.
dias. Meu Deus do céu. Chegou aqui que usar o relógio?
Paimon wasn't expecting to run into Kujusara here.
Ah, assustador, nada.
Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Is that all in hand and good to go? Or...
Eu tenho mais medo da Miko, velho. Fez os caras ficar de joelho implorando. Deixa eu ver. Ah, mano. Fala que tá nas que já pegou, por favor.
Why are you always asking so many questions? Of course not. I just had to say something because I clearly wasn't convincing her.
Que?
Not entirely unexpected.
Puta merda.
As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every last detail when we're facing off against a god, can we?
Okay, but what are we gonna do though? We only have 3 days.
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, come with me. We must awaken the professional.
Eu não consigo pensar o toma, velho. Mas se pá não é, né? Não sei, né? Vamos ver aqui, né? E aí, camarada, só ManoBigodi de edição aqui, avisando que o vídeo vai ficar por aqui. Valeu por vocês que me acompanharam até aqui. Mas relaxem que a gente se vê em uma outra hora. Falou!